Are you living in a toxic home and not even realizing it? In our Parenting with Purpose segment today, we're talking to Misty Gregg. She's the owner of the Sage Soapbox to talk to us about some of the dangers that may be in our home and we don't even know it. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right,
Thanks
let's talk a little bit about your company. Why did you become so passionate about helping parents with toxins in the home?
In 2004, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and I had a craniotomy with 37 stitches, and a friend said to me, you better be careful what shampoo you use because what goes on your skin goes in your bloodstream. And I'd never thought about that before.
Oh my goodness.
So I found some safe shampoo, but then I learned about the toxins in the home, some of the cleaning products and things like that that we used. And I removed those, and my children were 7 and 9 at the time, and now they're in their mid-20s, and none of us have asthma as a result of just getting some of those toxins out of the home.
Interesting. And so you just started this company, and what do you do now with this company?
I felt like I was always on my soapbox, and I wanted to share information that I learned with other parents so that they can make healthier choices, because when you have small children, their little organs, you know, are getting a bigger dose of all of these chemicals.
Especially if they're crawling around on your floors and everything. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what parents should be looking for.
Okay, so some of the laundry products in particular are super dangerous. The pods, they look like a piece of candy, so children would sometimes ingest those. Bleach is actually a known carcinogen, and I don't know if it's still true, but it used to be that it was mandated in this state that they had to wash children in preschool their desks off with a bleach and water mixture. Germany doesn't have bleach at all because they know that it's not safe. So you could really use much safer things than that. Also, the disinfectants that people like to spray when it's cold and flu season. Children, there's a book called Is This Your Child's World? And it's Doris Rapp, and she shows examples that when you spray that children, when they inhale those chemicals, they'll write dyslexic immediately. So they're super scary.
That is scary. And like, you know, scouring cleaners also have toxins in them as well. And they irritate mucous membranes?
Yes.
That is interesting. Okay, and then glass cleaners, we need to look out for those as well. Is there a particular ingredient that we're looking for?
One of the popular ones is made with butyl salicylate, and butyl salicylate is actually what they use to make rat poisoning. So you think, you know, when you spray it and then there's the residue and stuff like that, it's super dangerous for children.
So what should parents be doing instead?
There are a lot of things that parents can do. They can, for example, well, when babies are born, the average baby is born with over 200 toxins in their core blood. This is a study that Alan Green did in Pittsburgh. He's a pediatrician. So the babies are already coming into a toxic environment. So the things that we can do when we are painting the nursery, use low VOC paint. If at all possible, not have carpeting, because carpeting off gases. It's a great idea to have hardwood floors. You can clean them with water. And also, I think people don't, they get a lot of gifts, stuffed animals and things like that. It's good to get those out of the crib, not keep those in with a baby.
Interesting. And then baking soda and pure vinegar are great cleaning products. We don't even think about it. All right, so you're doing some online seminars in February 2nd, I believe.
Yes, at 7 p.m. It's called The Real Dirt on Clean, and I'll give solutions for some of these cleaning products, healthier solutions. And also at 8 o'clock, we're doing Raising Healthy Children in a World of Pop-Tarts and Pizza, talking about some nutritional things.
Oh, all right. And then people can email you for the details on how to log on to that. It's Misty at thesagesoapbox.com.